Alright, welcome everybody to another BDA Boxing Film Analysis, a mini film analysis here. We're not going to go into too much detail, but we're just going to take a look at the Anthony Joshua and the Ruiz fight that will be taking place this Saturday at Madison Square Garden. Andy Ruiz, of course, is a late replacement, or relatively late replacement for Jarrell Big Baby Miller, or should I say the walking pharmacy, because he was suspended or whatever the hell happened with him, got caught with all sorts of substances. So now Andy Ruiz steps in at, like I said, relatively late time. But we're going to take a look at what he can do in this fight. Because right now, Joshua, it's not just enough to win. He has to impress his arch rival, who gets mentioned every time somebody brings up his name, is Deontay Wilder. And he's riding the coattail. His fans are going berserk because Wilder knocked out Big Titty Brazil. So now everybody says, well, they're looking at Joshua and saying, you have to do something equally as impressive. Now, Joshua does not have a nuclear weapon in his right hand, but he's got pretty good hands, pretty heavy hands, and quick for a 240-plus pound guy. And he also has better skills than Deontay Wilder. So what he has to do to be impressive in this fight, he needs to beat Ruiz up. It is up to Ruiz. He wants to win this fight. I don't know if he can do it, though. I don't know if he's got the firepower, the legs, and the skills to beat Joshua, but he can make him look bad and hope that maybe he can convince two of the judges to give him the win. So we're going to take a look at some of Joshua's weaker points here, his flaws, defensive that is. And even if Ruiz can't take advantage of him, maybe Deontay Wilder can. So let's take a look at some of the things that Ruiz can do to frustrate Anthony Joshua. First thing is, Anthony Joshua likes to roll with the shots. He has a high guard. He likes to catch shots on his gloves and counter. The problem is that whenever he rolls with a right hand, he's got the glove up. But if you throw a left hook, he has to roll with that punch too, meaning he rolls towards his right. But then when the right hand comes up, he has to roll back to his left. Sometimes he's a little bit too slow, or his right hand glove is not in the right position. He gets hit. And Ruiz has pretty fast hands, so he has to set up those right hands up with a left hook and follow that right hand up with combinations. Like I said, Ruiz has pretty fast hands. This is something that he can play off of. Now the problem with Ruiz is that he tends to slap a little bit with his shots, but nevertheless he is a 200-plus pound guy, so those shots might just add up. Now the problem with Joshua isn't just that you can set him up with a left hook for a right hand. He can also be hit with straight rights. Joshua nevertheless backs straight up sometimes with his chin up, and like I said, his hands are up, but there's a hole in there that can be taken advantage of. Another little setup that can work is to jab downstairs and then come up with the right hand upstairs. Like I said, Joshua keeps his hands in position, but sometimes they're not in the best position, and there's a porous defense to be taken advantage of there. And Ruiz, like I said, fast hands, he can take advantage of this. The main problem, and this is one that I've pointed out in other videos, is that Joshua tends to overcommit with his right hand. And what happens if he misses, or if you roll with his right hand, he's wide open for a right hand with his gloves down. There's nowhere for him to go, and he can be countered with follow-up right hands or with left hooks. This is something that Ruiz can take advantage of. Like I said, catch Joshua with that right hand, or semi-right uppercut, whatever it is, and then follow up with a couple of combinations. Maybe even finish to the body. Why not? Like I said, Ruiz tends to slap, and he's not as heavy as Joshua, but he is still a 200-plus pound guy, so those body shots might add up, and you never know, maybe Joshua's suspect stamina becomes a problem down the line. Another problem with Anthony Joshua is sometimes he drops his right hand. He can be caught with left hooks. Now, he's been able to remedy this in his past couple of fights, but nevertheless, like I said, Ruiz has fast hands, deceptively fast hands, and he has pretty good timing too. Now, good timing with fast hands equals disaster, so Joshua has to keep that right hand up. But let me tell you something. Just because Joshua, I'm showing you a couple of examples where Joshua gets hit, but he's a pretty quick counterpuncher for a guy his weight. And he's got, like I said, pretty quick hands. So if Ruiz or anybody else wants to go at Joshua and jump on him, they're going to have to be ready to get countered with fire. So tell us what we got wrong, tell us what we got right. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let's see a little video of Andy Ruiz, what he has to do to beat Anthony Joshua. He's going to have to jump into the fire.
Aqua.